from a sexual standpoint, like the first time you were with your partner intimately, how do you rekindle that feeling years in?
Touch is an amazing thing, extremely flirtatious and enticing. With the touch, be ready.
That's what I was about to say.
Be ready.
Yes.
I think that flirting outside of your relationship is a slippery slope.
Okay, so welcome back to another episode. This is episode 2, baby. We cooking.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
We're feeling good about where we are, what we're doing. I hope y'all found the first episode to be valuable, understanding the difference between love and like. And today, our topic is a little spicy and something that we thought we would get into later in the season. We're talking about intimacy in monogamous partnerships.
Yes.
And what that looks like over an extended amount of time. Sometimes the fire starts to sizzle out a little bit. So how do you maintain that? How do you identify that and know that that's what's happening within the partnership? And how can you get it back to a place where it's spicier than ever and there's a deep sense of desire for one another?
I love that. I love the word desire and deep sense of desire, because I think that's kind of what it comes all the way back to a lot of the times.
Yeah.
But before we jump into the actual topic,
Yes.
we love to start with your topic,
What's
your segment.
Oh, my segment.
Yes, your segment of the day. Hopefully you're
Used the
prepared.
applause already.
Hopefully you're prepared for it. But
I'm always prepared.
today's segment of a little about a lot with Special K,
Yes.
you will give us a little about a lot. What do you have for the audience today?
So yesterday I was listening to a podcast, and I told you about it earlier today, with Huberman and on Huberman Labs.
Okay.
And this is a podcast. You also check it out, Huberman Labs. It's if you're into wellness, if you're into kind of biohacking and vitality, it's a great podcast for that. You know, he can be a little controversial, but you know, we take in the meat and leave in the bones.
Okay.
And so in yesterday's conversation, it was a conversation about psychoactives and how these tools, such as your ayahuasca and psilocybin and ketamine, and they're being used for depression and helping people to kind of work through anxiety, depression, post-traumatic syndrome for like veterans and stuff like that.
Okay.
And the fun fact from there was that whenever people go through these experiences, now these are all clinical trials, right? So this is not like you out in the wild with your friends, it's Coachella and y'all doing some mushrooms.
No.
But like
different experience.
That's a different experience. It's not in a controlled environment, but it's similar. They're both hallucinogens.
Yeah. So
specifically, he was just talking about how there's kind of this wall in our mind that is a blocker from like this real version of ourselves that we don't necessarily access on a daily basis through the conscious.
Okay.
Right. And when we indulge in these psychoactives, that wall kind of crumbles down and you're able to, if you allow yourself, what kept coming up, which I thought was so interesting, was allowing yourself to let go. So even in the clinical trials, even in like an ayahuasca ceremony, if you're trying to hold so deeply to ego and the self, it can cause you to have a bad trip. It can cause it to like become demonic and like all these things, right? Because you're not letting go and letting your mind kind of go over to that other side of the wall.
Interesting.
It's like you got to lessen resistance. And so I walked away from that podcast, not necessarily going to jump in a psychoactive trial, but I did walk away thinking like, okay, how can I let go and more on a daily basis and surrender, surrendering to the calling of who I really am. Because she's inside of me and she's there and she might be hidden behind a wall right now. But what does it look like for me to let go? And a lot of times for me specifically, that's control. I like to be in control of a lot of things in my life, as you know.
Do you?
I mean, some would say that. Some would say that.
Well, I have an interesting question for you, because I know that this is something that you've also done some research on prior to listening to that episode.
Yeah.
And this has probably been 3, maybe 4 years ago. and you actually is like, hey, I think I might want to do this, honey.
Ayahuasca.
Doing an ayahuasca journey retreat situation.
Yes.
And you had an interesting episode of something happening where it.
I mean, if you're going to allude to it, just say it.
I don't want to tell your business out here on the streets, but you had an interesting episode that deterred you away from that.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Please speak a little bit more into that.
So essentially, I was indulging in
Edibles.
recreational drugs. Yeah.
Edibles.
Exactly. Marijuana gummies
Yes.
at the time. This is outside of the pandemic. And I'm not a smoker, don't do drugs, don't drink alcohol on a regular basis. But at this time,
You just combine those two things. You don't do drugs and alcohol on a regular basis.
okay, I don't do drugs at all,
Period.
but I seldomly drink alcohol.
There we
Maybe
go.
a glass of red wine
Yeah,
every
yeah.
month or two.
It
But I'm
be
not a
spliced,
drinker.
It can be spliced many different ways.
Yeah,
from
but
that
just
take.
for the record,
Yeah.
I do not do drugs.
There we go.
And I don't judge people who do them.
There we
you
go.
You know,
Because at the time, we were indulging in some edibles.
marijuana.
Yes.
Yeah, we were coming out of the pandemic. It
Yeah.
was like a tool of relaxation for us with all the anxiety and everything. So, anyways, long story short, I had an edible.
And you did a crossfade. Man, I'm making myself sound really old right now.
Yeah.
But you had
I
edible
had
and a little bit of wine.
very little though.
Very little bit
I
of
mean, not even like a glass full.
Yes.
So I don't think that was a contributing factor. I think what happened was it was Delta 8, which unknowingly to us at the time, we didn't realize was a synthetic version
Yes.
of marijuana.
Terrible. Terrible for you.
And I had what some would say would be a bad trip.
Correct.
Woke up in the middle of the night, thought I saw demons.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely saw one open a door and look at me and said, "You need to get out." And I was
You
like,
had an active 4-hour
yes,
panic attack.
Absolutely. It was what they would call a bad trip. I mean,
Yes.
to the point where you were like, "Am I about to have to go wake up your mother? Like, what's going on?"
Yeah, we're going to take you to the
Because we were at my mom's house at the time.
We were doing it's Mother's Day weekend.
So not only was my mom there, my grandma was there, and both of my aunts were there.
Yes, exactly.
And yeah, but they were asleep because this happened at like 1 a.m. in the morning, and we literally sat on the edge of the bed for 4 hours.
Yeah.
You trying to get me out of that? So after I came out of that, I was like, absolutely not. Ain't no way I'm going to ayahuasca. What?
You said
what is that?
You said no more drugs
no
ever
more
again
drugs
in life.
ever.
And I'm definitely not doing a psychedelic.
And I'm definitely not doing a psychedelic. And I have literally not touched a drug of beyond a leaf and Advil since that day.
Well, okay. So I wanted to share that story because I think it's hilarious. Now looking back at it.
Yeah.
And I also think that
And it also triggered me into about 3 to 6 month manic panic attacks.
yes.
To the point where I was having all the time. I couldn't drive. I couldn't it was like pretty bad for a while.
And I think that was also like just a moment in time where you were under a lot of stress.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think
Exactly.
it just culminated into that moment.
Yeah.
But kind of bringing it all back around. Also, you were saying from the podcast yesterday that is the medical, or I guess not so medical way you can do this removing the wall, right? But you also were saying, monks and
Yes.
other more spiritual people believe that you can do this more introverted
Yes.
release
Yes.
by meditation.
Absolutely. And that wasn't necessarily from the podcast.
Okay.
I just was researching afterwards.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, how can you naturally do this? Because I don't think your girl is going down that route.
Right.
But so introspective. So people that indulge in, meditation from a very deep level, and I'm not talking about 5-10 minute meditation. I'm talking about 6, 7, 8 hour meditations.
Wow.
Even silent retreats where you're silent for 7 days and you do not speak to a human at all for 7 days. Supposedly, when you are in this deep meditation state, you can kind of pull that wall down and actually see on the other side as well. Kind of come home to your real self, who's been everything that we will ever be. This is just a sidebar. Everything we will ever be, we already are.
Amen.
Everything that we will ever be is already inside of us. A lot of times we just can't see it. So a lot of these things is people trying to discover and trying to go inward and find that version of themselves, find who they are. And I know this has nothing to do with intimacy and we are being derailed, but I think it's important because as someone who is on a journey of rediscovering myself,
Yes.
falling back in love with myself, understanding who it is that I am, this has been the kind of stuff that I've been indulging in. So yes, that wraps up Kay's little bit about a lot.
Here we go. Hold on. Can I get it?
Yeah.
Hey.
We love to see it.
Love it. Love it. Now,
That crowd is loud.
the crowd is loud. I love the crowd. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Oh,
you.
okay,
Appreciate
I see
you.
Yeah.
So getting into the topic, how can flirting help intimacy in a relationship? And then, the other side to that is how can flirting hurt in a relationship as well?
And we're saying, how can flirting hurt or help when you're in a long-term relationship,
Correct.
right? Not a situationship, not
A long-term
like,
monogamous relationship.
yeah, year over year
This
type
is
thing.
the couples podcast.
Yeah.
And I know that nowadays it can mean many different things.
Yeah,
we
poly,
we
I
are
mean-
specifically talking about people, individuals that are in monogamous relationships.
Yeah.
Yes. You had an interesting take
I did have interesting take, but
about flirting before we started this. You've been holding it for like 2 days.
yeah.
And so
Because I'm like, let's talk about this on a podcast.
I'm curious to hear the things that your thoughts.
So my thoughts, and I'll just get it out, pretty quickly, is that I think that flirting with the opposite sex is a great way to increase desire within your partnership.
Okay. Very absolute about that.
Absolute. Full stop, 100%. Now, there's different levels of flirtation.
Okay.
And what people deem as flirtation and not flirtation, and what's appropriate and not appropriate, right?
Yes.
So I think that that's an avenue you can go down and establish within your partnership. But I know for a fact that indulging in the opposite sex energy outside of your partner can reinvigorate something within yourself that has been stale or has lied dormant for a while because you haven't had those butterflies and you haven't had that sense of newness and that sense of discovery.
Okay.
Right. And so when I say flirtation is helpful, when I say flirtation can increase desire, what I'm really saying is that owning yourself fully, feeling desired, feeling sexy, feeling bold, feeling powerful, whether that's as a male or a female, helps you to come back home and you carry those feelings. And it might be a wild ass night as a result of me indulging in this energy
Yes.
of the opposite sex to a, of course, like respectable to my partnership in my marriage
Yes.
extent. But yeah, that's my thoughts. What are your thoughts?
I love that. I love that. If I can reach the round of applause, I would give you a round of applause. I told you I came prepared.
Yes, I love it.
So I wanted to make sure that, I'm not just giving hypotheticals. These are some doctors that give some suggestions in different articles.
Not doctors. Well,
Go ahead.
can I interrupt you real quick?
Yes.
Give us your opinion.
My opinion.
Not the doctors, what's Michael Webley's opinion on this?
My opinion on it is I think that flirtation is twofold. It could be inside the relationship and it could be outside the relationship. I think flirting inside of your relationship is great, especially in a monogamous relationship that's long term.
Yes.
I think that flirting outside of your relationship is a slippery slope. It's a very slippery slope. And I think that your take on it, I can understand where you're coming from because of just my upbringing and being in the Caribbean lifestyle, being in different places.
Talk about it.
I think that I don't think you've ever witnessed me flirting, but
What?
Me?
Boy.
Me?
I wish I could rewind the tape back for the people over the last 12 years.
Wait, me?
I have been in the same room with this man.
Okay, hold on.
You ain't never disrespected me. I want to make sure.
I was going to say, what kind of podcast episode is this?
No.
What's going on here?
You've never disrespected me.
Okay.
But again, remember the definition I just gave.
Yeah.
And I feel comfortable with flirtation in my partnership.
Okay.
So we have been like, I specifically remember a time You might not remember this.
Please.
We were at Soho House here in Austin, having a great time. Afrotech was happening. And Afrotech was happening, and it was bustling in the Soho House.
You go ahead.
And
vivid.
He had been drinking. We all had been drinking.
Okay.
We had a great time that night.
Okay.
And I vividly remember going to the bar with my friend Shantavia, and we were getting a drink.
Okay.
And I looked over at the side of the room, and I said, "What do you know? Wow, it's really something." I never
thought I'd see it.
I never thought I'd see the day.
Go ahead. And what did you see?
I said, now what in who? Oh, that got to be somebody we know, right? What? Who? Complete stranger. I said, wow. And I said, get it. I love that for him.
And you took that as I was in a flirtatious conversation.
Honey, you are a flirtatious man.
Wow.
We can be at a restaurant in Barcelona, and a waitress come over. How you doing? Okay, yeah. Oh wow, yeah. That looks great. Oh my God.
So
there's a difference between polite and flirtation, and you toe the line very frequently.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, let me just kind of recap. Your stance on flirtation is that it's okay, barring some boundaries.
Absolutely.
My stance is
within
the relationship. However, what you've just said is that I display getting close to the edge.
You get on the edge.
I get on the edge.
You think about jumping quite often.
Okay.
From that polite to flirt.
I wouldn't take it there, but. Here's some of the things that I did some research on.
Okay.
Right. This is very interesting. Let me see the first thing I want to read because I have many different notes. Okay. Monogamy, the definition of it, right? Keeping of your intimate sexual and romantic attention and energy for just the person that you're in a relationship with.
Whose definition is this?
This is Dr. Jarvis.
Who the hell? He didn't say Webster. This man didn't say dictionary.com. He said random ass Dr. Jarvis. Who is Dr. Jarvis?
The fact that we laugh at that. I'm just looking at some of the things that I correlated in my research.
That's a definition.
So that's a definition.
Okay.
But this is what I really wanted to engage with right here. It talks about like the reasons why people flirt. So I'm actually intrigued that you are just, flag in the sand on like, yes, flirtation is great. Reasons why people flirt. They flirt for fun.
Okay.
But they also can be flirting for validation.
Ooh. They
also can be flirting for ego boost. And I think that's why I say like, hey, this is a slippery slope. So when you talk about like, flirting outside of the relationship, it also talks about here something called micro cheating.
Oh, Jesus.
Subtle acts of seeking emotional intimacy that take place outside one's relationship. And so if we dive a little bit deeper, right? When you talk about like this, let's go with me, for example. And you're saying like, oh, Michael is a flirtatious individual. I'm just like, okay, if I'm having a cordial conversation with someone, especially with you in my presence, I might be being nice.
Yeah.
But I'm not like overtly being flirtatious. Now, I have had, when I'm not with you, women with my wedding ring on, women just like, oh yeah, so what you doing? And what can I get your number? And it's just like, oh, I'm married. And so if a woman is asking me,
and what do they say? They're like, oh my gosh, what? Because you just held a 20-minute conversation with them. He, ha, ha, and he.
And that's my point. What I'm saying is, it's like, oh, whatever I said in this conversation, however I'm interacting with you, to your point, they read that as I'm being flirtatious.
Exactly.
Right? And now, a person like myself that is happily married, right? I don't need any secrecy. I don't need to be like, oh yeah, let me get your Instagram, let me get your thing or whatever like that.
Yeah.
Well, I have people have gotten Instagrams, but never a number or anything like that.
Yeah.
Right. And I think even that nowadays is a bit of a slippery slope.
Let me ask a question.
Go ahead.
We want your opinion on this.
Go ahead.
We being me.
Go ahead, please.
Is it okay to get the Instagram or social media handles of the opposite sex or just of a person, right? Mm-hmm. When you've engaged in what you just mentioned, is that okay to do?
In this scenario, man. Because
you just said that it happened. So you must think it's okay.
I honestly, that sounds terrible. I honestly don't think it's okay.
Okay, so why did it happen?
This is interesting.
We going down a path today, boy. Y'all witnessing it live.
This is interesting.
Because I don't know who Instagram he done got.
That's my point. This is an interesting take.
Yeah.
So what happened was, again, very just not
you
good,
digging it. I think
sentences.
I didn't even give you the shovel, but you digging it.
No, what happened was this person was just like, oh, literally, this might be the Soho House conversation. This person literally was like, oh yeah, I'm into interior design and I'm trying to get into interior design. I was like, oh.
What your Instagram got?
No, not my Instagram. Just like, oh, I need to introduce you to an interior designer that's here in Austin. And I was like, oh, yeah, we should exchange numbers. Like, oh no, I'm married. I can't exchange numbers, but we can exchange social media, things of that nature.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm just like, that's weird. And so I'm trying to think, in the times that has happened, that's only happened one time. Because outside of that, usually when I say I'm married, forget about it.
Shut it down.
I might as well say.
But she was really into like a professional exchange.
Correct.
So that's why she kept like, oh, okay, let's just do it.
Yeah. And usually nowadays, especially in these professional settings, it's like a LinkedIn.
Yeah.
It's not even Instagram.
But you know what's interesting is like, for what I've heard from my single girlfriends is that's what people ask for.
Socials?
Yeah. Like they don't ask for their numbers.
Not LinkedIn though. But
no, not LinkedIn. But I'm saying
Instagram.
like when a guy's trying to holler or something, they'll be like, what's your IG?
This is not the
I'm
podcast.
Like, what?
This is not the podcast for that.
Yeah, we're not.
So let's get back.
That's interesting.
Circling back because I saw your mouth drop a little bit when I talked about the micro cheating. And then also talking about the reasons why. That's what you want to do right now, Ice.
Our ice machine.
You want to start making ice.
Okay.
But reasons why people flirt, again, outside of the marriage, fun, validation, and ego boost.
So
what say you?
That was very interesting to me. And it actually made me pull back a little bit. Specifically the validation.
Okay.
And the ego boost.
Okay, I got some more, but tell me more about that.
For me, when it comes to flirting outside of the marriage, flirting outside of the partnership with the opposite sex or someone that you're attracted to, right? In general, I do think that there's a world where there is a bit of, do I still got it?
Validation.
So when you said that, I was like, oh, yeah, that's the term to use. That kind of slides in and fits well. I can see scenarios where you're not feeling sexy, you're not feeling desired, and not necessarily because of your partner, but maybe because of something you're going through internally, something that is you're going through by yourself, right?
Yeah.
And how going out for dinner with your girlfriends and being approached by someone who's interested in you, right, could feel really good for the ego and could be validating in the sense of, oh, I still got it. You know, it's like there's, whether it's good or bad, like it or love it, I think that there is power in that, in understanding your worth and your value from a place of outside validation. That sounds so shallow, but I can be the first to admit, and whether people want to admit that or not, I do think that people get some kind of boost whenever they are approached from someone that's interested in them. Now, when you get into that conversation, it's like, I'm married and there is no further conversation, but it's like you may walk away from that feeling like, oh, okay. Like I felt good. I felt sexy today. I felt like I looked good when I walked out that door. And not that I needed someone to come and tell me that, because I need to believe that myself first. and my husband or my partner can also tell me that this served some kind of purpose.
And so I like the fact that you said that, where it's just like it does give a bit of a boost to your ego, a bit of a validation. So I'm 100% confident in my marriage. I'm 100% confident that you are a beautiful, attractive woman. So if you are going out with your girlfriends, I expect men to come and have conversations with you, want to talk to you, want to buy you a drink, things of that nature. Out of respect for me and respect for yourself, I believe that there's boundaries that you set.
Absolutely.
At all times.
Yes.
And so we've been in conversations together where it's just like, yeah, somebody came and somebody said such and such and whatever. And I do see that when we go to Houston and somebody pulls up in a Bentley and tries to holler at you, I do see like, oh, shoot, yeah, I still got it, you know, and I understand like that, what that does for you. The slippery slope that I talk about and just some of the research that I've done is it takes it a little bit deeper in regards to it being validating for you, right? But there's boundaries. And so like one of the examples it gave was like, if it's secrecy, right? So one of the things that we're pretty adamant about is if we're going out separately and someone does try to speak to us or we're engaging in actual good conversation with opposite sex, we usually know about that.
Yeah.
And the secrecy was talking about like,
the micro cheating.
The micro cheatings. Okay. And not, I guess this was technically it could be a micro cheating if there's like a burner account that one of us doesn't know about.
Yes.
And in that, with that burner account, there's conversations being had. So there's emotional connections being made.
And that's 100% cheating to me. That ain't a micro.
And so,
so you've crossed far beyond a flirtation, and you've now stepped into an emotional affair.
Yes. Okay. So also, I read 2 articles.
Okay.
So everything that we just spoke about was just about flirtation and how it can be both good and negative outside of the relationship.
Okay.
But flirtation inside your relationship is actually way more fulfilling than outside the relationship. That's my take on it. And there's just so many studies that show that 24/7 flirting with your spouse, whether it's text messages while they're at work, it's they say a wink throughout the day. There's like some touches. Some touches in the morning, before you leave, just things that can really spice up your relationship, again, inside the relationship. And to your point, in terms of validation, I think sometimes as men, you came downstairs, I'm fixing this stuff up, and you came down and you look how you look. Hair is done beautifully, your makeup is done on point. And at one point I looked and I was like still going back to what I was doing. And then I caught myself and it's like, baby, your hair is beautiful. You look amazing.
Yeah.
Right. And not just that.
I appreciate that.
Of course. But also just ways that you can validate each other.
Okay. So
go ahead.
Give us ladies 3 things that we could do that you would see as flirtatious and maybe enticing for men. Okay.
Touch is an amazing thing that is extremely flirtatious and enticing. But also with the touch, be ready.
That's what I was about to say.
Be ready. Because that guy is automatically going to think it's about to go down.
It's about to go down. She just did a little.
At some point, whether it's a touch of the back of the neck, grabbing on the privates, not even grabbing, just slightly. Just
baby, that is not flirting. Grabbing the privates.
Slightly putting your hand in certain areas.
Like grazing.
Grazing hands.
And acting like it's a little accident.
There you go.
Yeah, but it wasn't really.
So that's one.
Okay.
Text messages is always nice.
Okay. Like sexy text messages?
Sexy,
are you talking
text
about
messages.
Like little nudie picture, or are you talking about a little sexy
Everyone
emoji?
has their own, spectrum of sexy.
And what's yours?
Oh,
What do you
it
think?
does. It doesn't have to be any like sexual nudes or
Okay.
anything like that. It could just be emojis.
Okay.
I mean, but surprise me.
He said, I'm not opposed.
I'm not opposed to being surprised.
Okay, and then what's the third thing?
Surprise me. That third thing, flirtation. Mm-hmm. I mean, take me out to lunch. Take me out to dinner. That's flirtation.
Really?
I got this thing booked for us tonight.
So the breakfast? Oh.
Nah, you had a hard workout and you said you want to eat breakfast. That's
Okay, so you're saying to
like if you had date night booked specifically, let's say if it was a place to go eat, and I didn't have to think about like, oh, what restaurant, what time, and
kind of like Saturday, but we didn't make it because we were working on the podcast. But I had
literally
that all
like
set up.
Saturday because what did I do when I came back downstairs? I said, oh, honey, it'd be great if we could have dinner, and you said I already booked it.
Yes.
I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah, all right.
yeah.
Okay, so those are 3 things.
3 things.
Okay, beautiful. So 3 things that I think that men could do.
I didn't ask you, but please tell me.
I'm talking about, okay, he didn't ask me, but this is for the people. 3 things that I think men could do that could be seen as flirtation in a long-term partnership, monogamy.
Yeah, what you got?
So I think that there's ways of flirting that may not be so overt, right? So flirting for me is like, I like the the carpet vacuumed, and I have like,
okay.
I think helping around the house in ways that you don't normally help
Yes.
without being asked is like sexy as hell for a lot of women. Because you've relieved some burden off of them. You've relieved one less thing that they got to think about, right? Think about what you just said in regards to, oh, dinner was already booked. Yeah. That's usually what a man has to think about and consider.
Correct.
So the fact that I removed that off your plate was like, oh, that was dope, right?
That was super, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Not sensitive, but
Intuitive.
very intuitive.
Yeah.
Sincere. That's what a better word. Very sincere.
Okay. And then the second thing I think that women can do, kind of like what you were saying, but I was saying touch, but not in an overt way, grabbing private areas and whatever you were saying.
So
I think
what
like
are you saying?
a little like when I come to your desk and I like rub across your shoulders,
Okay.
kind of rub up and down your arm.
So you're saying that the guy should do that?
Yeah. Like I think that that's good for the woman to feel that same like kind of sensual touch. Not so men can be so rare. It's like softly touching me.
Slapping
like
the booty, grabbing the booty.
Yeah, moving my hair to the side, kissing the neck, right? I think that those are ways of flirting.
Okay.
But then also I think that when we think about flirtation, there's also using flirtation. So maybe you already got to the physical act of sex.
So we got 3 things. The first one was
doing something around the house
Doing something
that
around
I
the
would
house.
normally take care of
second one was
without me asking.
touch.
The second one was touch,
And the
light touch,
light touch.
right?
And the last one is
And when you're in the act of having a intimate experience with your partner,
Yes.
I think there's also ways to flirt within that.
oh,
Like
okay.
in the way that you're speaking to one another. And maybe there's things that you don't normally do,
There we go.
right? That you make an assertive effort to do, or maybe even like you slow it down a whole lot within the bedroom to the point where you're able to actually indulge in each other's energy just a bit longer before the actual physical act. I think that's also form of flirtation. Like I also think as flirtation as tease. So when I think of teasing, I think of flirting,
Okay.
right? Because a lot of times whenever you are flirting, when you are single, there is this kind of teasing thing that's happening. Like, are you going to get it? Are you not going to get it? Are you going to get it? That type thing. And I do think that there's some energy there.
You might just be a doctor. You might just be a doctor because this is what it actually says here. Enjoying a bit of flirting can be healthy. Flirting can give a promise of something exciting. So it's a promise of something exciting. And then it also talks about flirting. It's designed consciously or unconsciously to create sexual interest and tension.
Yes, exactly.
Again, you could be a doctor. These are all doctors that I am quoting and kind of the studies that they've done.
Speak it over me because I've been considering going back to school. So
Amen.
You never know. But yeah, so I think teasing
Yes.
is a form of flirtation.
Yes.
That leaves you desiring more, right?
Yes.
And when it's in the confinements of a partnership, I think it's okay to do. Now, I don't think you should be out here teasing your partner all day long, every day, for weeks at a time. Because then it's like, what you doing? Now this is just miserable.
Yeah. It's subtle, and I think a lot of times, like I said, especially for the women with the men, if it's not tonight, it's you as men we get a tease. You on a 24-hour clock. The clock
You better put that fire out soon.
the clock
girl.
is ticking.
It's gonna burn the house down.
The clock is ticking.
It's hot.
Okay, so just be prepared.
So, speaking from experience, when is the last time you felt like you flirted with me?
What's all that extra stuff you got to do there? When's the last time I believed I flirted with you?
Yeah. What was your last intentional flirtation with me?
Intentional flirtation. Mm-hmm. Today's Sunday. Intentional flirtation. Man. Mm-hmm. Wait, what's the mm-hmm? Oh,
that brings me to the book.
Are you? Let's segue into the book.
No, answer.
I was gonna say Tuesday or Wednesday.
What happened Tuesday or Wednesday?
Tuesday or Wednesday.
You just picked a random day. You remember Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. That you remember when I did that? I did that, right? Yeah, Tuesday.
Oh my god.
What happened on Tuesday?
No, I'm saying I was thinking about the day, and maybe the weeks are just blurring. Mm-hmm. But I felt like we had like midday afternoon sex sometime this week.
That's when you flirted with me? Jesus.
I'm saying in order for that to transpire, I believe early in the morning I have flirtatious energy. Flirtatious energy.
Okay, so actually, what we know is we gonna work on that over here. Okay, that's what we actually know.
Okay, you clearly have been reading.
Well, yeah. So I'm reading this book, Mating in Captivity.
Okay, by who?
By Esther Perel.
Some call her Esther. Some call her Estar.
Yeah, but that we can't call her Esther if that's not her name.
Okay.
Right? We don't get to choose that. She does.
Yes.
So Esther Perel, she's a couples therapist, psychoanalyst. She's a psychotherapist, excuse me. And she has this book that's called Mating in Captivity. Mating in Captivity, which is about maintaining intimacy in monogamous relationships.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
And it's been like all the rave for me over the last couple of days. It's a really great book. I recommend couples read it together, especially if like the fire has kind of died out within your partnership and your desire for one another. I think this is a great read. So one of the things that I read in here, so in this, I have notes here. She says, we'll see that contemporary couples invest more in love than ever before. Yet in a cruel twist of fate, it is this very model of love and marriage that is behind the exponential rise in the divorce rate. Here, it behooves us to question whether traditional if traditional marriage structures can ever meet the modern mandate, especially when till death do us part entails a lifespan double that of past centuries. So what she's saying in this question is people invest so much in the love part of their relationship that what has happened is that the desire and the fire for one another has completely diminished. And as a result of that, people end up exiting marriages and partnerships. Not because they don't love each other, but because they no longer feel desired, because they're no longer sexually attracted to the person, because they're no longer flirting. They're like all these things have dissipated outside of I love you. And what did I say last episode? is not enough.
It's not enough.
Love is not enough.
Love is not enough.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And I think you said something about, I don't know if I read your notes or if you said this, but I think what I remember seeing was love is the cause.
It's not caused by love.
Not caused by love.
So love doesn't cause these things.
Okay.
But love being the only thing then results in these divorces and these separations. Because
if you love someone, you're thinking, date night, no, anniversary, like Valentine's, baby, you know I love you. I ain't gotta get you no damn flowers. You get it.
You get it.
You get it.
Oh, that's just a hyped up holiday that's made up. No one cares about that. Everything is extra high priced up. Now she cares about it. Yeah. More than likely she does. More than likely they do. And more than likely it matters.
Okay.
So these are some questions that came up here that I wrote down. When you love someone, how does it feel? And when you desire someone, how is that different? What's the difference between love and desire?
Ooh,
in the framework of intimacy.
I mean, I can speak towards that. To your point, it's like when you're in desire, when you have that feeling of desire, it's like a inescapable thought. Like that person is running through your head on a consistent basis, and then you're also thinking about like, okay, how can I show and display my desire for you?
Yes.
And so I believe with that, there's more thoughtful acts with the desire.
So yes. And desire is like a yearning and a burning.
A yearning and a burning, especially from a standpoint of, I don't have this.
Yes.
And so when you have it, it's harder to have that desire if it's just, well, I got it.
So what she also talks about in this book is how when we're in these long-term partnerships, this sense of we know each other completely, up and down, backwards, frontwards, because we've been together so long. The sense of mystery has left the room. And a catalyst and a pillar of desire is mystery. That's what you just spoke about.
Yeah.
Will I get to see this person? Will I not get to see this person? Are they thinking about me the way that I'm thinking about them? Are they going to come over? What's going to happen when that's what's happening when you're dating. It's like, oh, that's that desire piece.
Yeah.
When we get married, when we decide to commit to someone monogamously long term, right? That sense of mystery disappears over time. Because, I know him up and down. I know everything that he's going to do, everything he's going to say. There is no sense of mystery. So the question then becomes, how do you maintain mystery? How do you maintain a sense of discovery with your partner? Because when you have this sense of mystery and discovery, then desire goes up as a byproduct, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things I was thinking about yesterday in the shower as reading this book, but thinking about our conversation today, was how do I keep my husband mysterious to me? Like, how do I maintain that mystery? And what I was thinking about is like, well, how am I mysterious to him? Like, how is he seeing like a new version of Creatia? And like, am I changing up my look? Am I dressing differently? Am I like going out and building new hobbies and new things and making myself more interesting? You know how like people want to become socialites or they want to become popular or things of that nature, and they kind of start going and indulging in these different like hobbies, becoming a more interesting person.
Yes.
I think that also should happen in long-term partnership.
I think that one of the things that's healthy is having different interests.
Yes.
Right? So
yes.
Not just being able to have like girlfriends and guy friends, which I think is healthy as well, but also just being able to have different interests, right? So like if, we just watched the movie that I presented to you yesterday, and it's just like, oh, okay, cool. I might take you out to a movie that's indie, a short, that's something that's not mainstream, and it's, oh, okay, cool. This is something that's like I would have never discovered this on my own.
Yes.
Right? And
exactly.
And vice versa, where it's just like, oh, okay, like there's something different that I didn't know about you. Because again, we do have different hobbies. We do have different interests.
Yes. And when we have those different hobbies and different interests, then that leaves room for more questions.
But how does that work? Because we've been together 12 years and I like movies. I'm into different movies. I know you like museums. I know you like live music. And it's one of those things where it's just like, that's just where we've kind of been pulling. But we've also grown to like the same things. I'm going to a lot more museums. You are also like recommending a lot more documentaries. As a matter of fact, the movie theater,
which was a random date night. You didn't say that, but yeah,
you did a really
that was planned.
You did a really good date night this week, right? So again, 12 years in, what happens now when we're at you're 20, you're
well,
25?
We should always be evolving and growing as people. So just because I like museums doesn't mean there can't be another aspect of creation, right? So I think about like I came up to you and I'm like, babe, I want to learn bachata. Like, I want to get into this sensual type of dancing. And that was completely new.
Yeah.
And not something that you would have expected me to just pop out. And I'm like, oh, all right, this is what I want to do. Right. Which then leads for there to be exposure for you too. Cause you're like, all right, I'll come with you. Right. So I think there's ways of kind of exploring each other. But also I think self-exploration is the catalyst to be able to bring something new and remain interesting to your partner.
I like that.
Okay, so I have another question.
Okay, what you got?
The other question is it possible to want what we already have long term?
Yes.
Want from a sexual standpoint?
Yes.
Okay, tell me more. If you're sleeping with the same person for 62 years,
oh man,
how do you continue to want, really want that? Not go through the motions. We doing the same position, flip up, flip down, do what you got to do, hurry up, get it. Like, how is it like the first time you were with your partner intimately? Mm-hmm. How do you rekindle that feeling 15 years in?
I'm going to talk about us. Mm-hmm. All right. We kind of shine the most when we go into a different city, go into a different country. A lot of times it's like our day-to-day working from home, living in Austin, like we kind of elevate ourselves to like maybe a 10x level.
Mm-hmm. Wardrobe look different, hair different, everything.
You know what I mean? And so I think that like while we're here in the city that we live in, the date nights, and the comedy shows and the bachatas and the like different nights, we have to kind of seek those things out intentionally on a month-to-month basis and not just wait for that next travel. But in order to maintain the desire, maintain the wanting, is travel. It's like, okay, cool. We've been going in a good kind of run for a little bit of time, but I know like our anniversary is coming up. We need to get to a beach. Mm-hmm. We need to spend like 7 days just doing something different and being in a different environment.
And that'll contribute to the desire and the wanting.
I believe so.
Okay.
Because it's now we're getting to do the things that we like to do, that we love to do, exploring different places.
So when we get to the bedroom, how does that translate?
I think it translates exponentially.
How?
Because it's different environments.
Okay.
Right?
So you're saying because we're in a different city, because we're in a different bed.
Correct.
That in itself is spicing it up.
Yes.
Okay.
Please, you seem like you have a lot on your mind.
No. I understand. I think that's good. When we travel, it's on 99.
Right.
Intimacy wise,
yes.
Right? Because stress leaves.
Exactly.
So I also think that that's an important part too.
Yeah, but I don't want to negate the fact of like staycations.
Yeah, exactly. Because also people not traveling all the time every day. So if you got to wait till you travel for things to get spiced up.
That's my point.
Yeah.
That's the point of what I'm saying in terms of like weekend getaways, date nights.
So what I was thinking is like tangible things that people can do today, right? That doesn't necessarily mean 6 weeks from now vacation. Hold out on that energy.
What you got?
Change the room up. Maybe the lighting.
Okay.
Right? Maybe you change the lighting. Maybe this is like a new for me, like if I came home and it was a new sheet set, a new comforter, and you had the lights dimmed differently,
Yes.
and you had candles lit around, like you just spiced it up.
Yep.
Because that ain't what we've been doing the last 4 weeks. It's been wham, bam, bam, you know? So I think that's tangible things that like thinking about how can you make your space feel more intimate, right?
Okay.
And okay, so this is what I want to challenge people with. And I think that it's important to do is having a real conversation around new desires in the bedroom. So because I've been with you for 10 years and we've been doing the same things for a while, think about increasing intimacy in long-term partnerships, specifically intimacy in the bedroom, because intimacy means a multitude of things. But we're speaking specifically to intimate encounters, sexual encounters with your partner, right? When you think about that, what are ways that you can make your space feel more intimate and change up the environment that you usually would indulge or participate in a sexual encounter with? So maybe it's not the bedroom. Maybe you're in the bedroom all the time. And it's like, oh, what if we did this in the closet? Or maybe even the bathroom, or maybe even the backyard. Making it real spicy, you know? But switching up the environment and doing something different, switching up the positions. She don't need to be able to count down 3, 2, 1. All right, now he about to ask me to flip around and do like switching that up, you know?
Switching the routine.
Okay, so but what I was saying, sorry, circled back. What I was saying was the challenge is to sit down with your partner and ask them what's 3 things that you're into sexually that I don't know about.
That's good. That's a good one.
And maybe it's something I'm doing already that you deeply enjoy, but you just haven't communicated that to me. Right? Or maybe there's something that I don't even know that would be completely left field. And I'm like, wait a minute, you into that?
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
I think it's important to have this conversation when you are in a good environment. Maybe y'all have had a glass of wine or two. It's safe. It's just intimate between you two. And also, I think you need to set the ground of like, there's no judgment here.
Yes.
And
this is a safe space.
This is a safe space. And I genuinely want to know what you're into. And not from what you're into with me, what you're in. Like, I want to know what are the things that you're indulging in when I'm not around, or what are maybe some of the things you've done in the past with different partners that you and I haven't done yet because you just haven't introduced it, but you really like it and you haven't felt safe enough to ask me to do.
I think that can be a game changer.
Yeah,
for a lot of intimacy with couples.
Exactly. I think that having that conversation like can open up the door to there being more spice in the bedroom, no pressure. But I think it could serve some couples. And then when it comes to intimacy in the bedroom, or wherever you like to do whatever you like to do, having an honest conversation is an opener. And I think we're really just teasing this conversation. We didn't even go in deep.
No.
I think once I get to the end of this book, and as we have further conversations, we'll have another episode on intimacy. But intimacy within your partnership, maybe having that conversation around things that they're into, and then challenging yourself to take on one of those things. If you feel comfortable with it, if you feel safe, then I think it's okay to take that initiative to indulge in one of those things, right?
What I'm really curious about is, we have the hotline.
Yes.
Where people can call in with their stories.
Yes, call in.
I think you had this is a wonderful challenge.
Yes.
We're going to do this challenge as well.
Oh,
and
it's spicy.
What I would love if people can call into the hotline,
Yes.
and especially if these conversations are fruitful.
Yes. And
That
even
would
if
be
they're
great.
not.
Even if they're not, yes.
Maybe-
We still love to hear the stories and see, did it help bring you guys closer together that week? Did you learn something new about your spouse? At the end of the day, I really believe when you're in a long-term committed relationship, it is all about growth with each other.
Yes.
And
Yes.
having conversations, having communication, open and honest conversations with one another is what's going to truly bring you guys closer together and what's going to sustain you guys long-term
Yes, exactly. And thank you for highlighting that. Submit your story. So everything is linked below. Everything is linked in our bio. You can submit your story, submit the challenge results. Let's see, like, did it get spicy? Did it not? It can be anonymous if you want it to be anonymous. We won't share who you are. Or if you're bold and courageous, you can share and we can share who you are. And then subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the podcast,
Subscribe to the
rate
Substack.
it, rate
Yes.
it and review it. That's how you help us. It's free to do and we would deeply appreciate it. This is only episode 2, so it's only getting better, getting deeper, getting more useful. And most importantly, what's important to us is to serve the couples out there that are committed to one another. It's challenges and it's growth. But as long as it stays rooted in fun, fueled by faith, and anchored in friendship, then we believe you can conquer anything.
Amen.
So thank you for checking out episode 2, and we'll see you soon.
See you soon.
Bye.